Hello friends, we have made it to First Chronicles. I'm not going to even pretend that I'm not intimidated by First Chronicles, and you're all interested in First Chronicles because I'm sure you're as excited as I am. So in First Chronicles, we're going to read about the unifying of God's people, the tracing of the Davidic line, and its instruction on how worship should be central to our individual lives and to our lives as a community, as children of God. So, First Chronicles chapter 1, the ancestry of the nation. I'm already confident this is going to be so much fun. From Adam to Noah's sons. The descendants of Adam were Seth, Enosh, Kenan, Mahalalel, Jared, Enoch, Methuselah, Lamech, and Noah. The sons of Noah were Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The descendants of Japheth were Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, and Tiras. The descendants of Gomer were Ashkenaz, Riphath, and Togarmah. The descendants of Javan were Elishah, Tarshish, Kittim, and Rodanim. The descendants of Ham were Cush, Mizraim, Put, and Canaan. The descendants of Cush were Seba, Havilah, Sabtah, Ramah, and Sabtah. The descendants of Ramah were Sheba and Dedan. Cush was also the ancestor of Nimrod, who was the first heroic warrior on earth. Mizraim and the ancestors of the Ludites, Anamites, Leshabites, Naphalites, Pathrushites, Casuhites, and the Caphtorites, from whom the Philistines came. I think Nimrod was much easier, and knowing that it was the first heroic warrior on earth, I'm very surprised that more people don't use the name Nimrod. I think because it kind of sounds like, I don't know, almost like an imbecile name, but the first mighty warrior on earth. Canaan's oldest sons were Sidon, the ancestor of the Sidonians. Canaan was also the ancestor of the Hittites, Jebusites, Amorites, Girgashites, Hivites, Arkites, Sinites, Arvadites, Zemarites, and Hamathites. The descendants of Shem were Elam, Assur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Aram. The descendants of Aram were Uz, Hol, Gether, and Mash. Arphaxad was the father of Shelah. Shelah was the father of Eber. Eber was the father of two sons. The first was Peleg, which means division. For during his lifetime, the people of the world were divided into different language groups. His brother's name was Joktan. Joktan was the ancestor of Almodad, Shelef, Hazarmaveth, Jira, Hadaram, Uzal, Dikla, Obal, Abimael, Sheba, Ophir, Havilah, and Jobab. All these were descendants of Joktan. So, this is the family line descended from Shem, Arphaxad, Shelah, Eber, Peleg, Reu, Serug, Nahor, Terah, and Abram, later known as Abraham. The sons of Abraham were Isaac and Ishmael. These were their genealogical records. The sons of Ishmael were Nebaioth, the oldest, Kedar, Adbeel, Mibsam, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Hadad, Tema, Jetur, Naphish, and Kedemah. These were the sons of Ishmael. The sons of Keturah, Abraham's concubine, were Zimran, Jokshan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. The sons of Joshua were Sheba and Dedan. The sons of Midian were Ephah, Epher, Hanok, Abida, and Eldah. All these were descendants of Abraham through his concubine, Keturah. Abraham was the father of Isaac. The sons of Isaac were Esau and Israel, also known as Jacob. The sons of Esau were Eliphaz, Reuel, Jeush, Jalam, and Korah. The descendants of Eliphaz were Teman, Omar, Zapho, Jotam, Kenaz, and Amalek, who was born to Timnah. The descendants of Reuel were Nahath, Zerah, Shammah, and Mizah. The descendants of Seir were Lotan, Shobal, Zibeon, Anah, Dishon, Ezer, and Dishan. The descendants of Lotan were Horai and Hemam. Lotan's sister was named Timnah. The descendants of Shobal were Alvan, Manath, Ebal, Shepho, and Omam. The descendants of Zibeon were Ai, and Anah. The sons of Anah was Dishon. The descendants of Dishon were Hemdan, Eshban, Ethran, and Kiran. The descendants of Ezer were Bilnah, Zavan, and Akan. The descendants of Dishon were Uz and Aran. This would be a really fun game to play, I think. Being able to say this the closest to the right name or something. These are the kings who ruled in the land of Edom before any king ruled over the Israelites. Bela, son of Beor, who ruled from the city of Dinhabah. When Bela died, Jobab, son of Zerah, from Bozrah, became king in his place. When Jobab died, Husham from the land of the Timonites became king in his place. When Husham died, Hadad, son of Bedad, became king in his place and ruled from the city of Avith. He was the one who destroyed the Midianite army in the land of Moab. When Hadad died, Samlah from the city of Maskarah became king in his place. When Samlah died, Shaul from the city of Rehoboth on the river became king in his place. When Shaul died, Baal-Hanan, son of Achbor, became king in his place. When Baal-Hanan died, Hadad became king in his place and ruled from the city of Pau. His wife was Mehetabel, the daughter of Matred, the granddaughter of Mezahab. Then Hadad died. I'm wanting to read this again. Then Shemlah died, Shaul, from the city of Rehoboth on the river. It makes it look like that's a full name of the city. The clan leaders of Edom were Timnah, Alva, Japheth, Aholibamah, Elah, Pinan, Kenaz, Teman, Mibzar, Magdiel, and Iram. These were the clan leaders of Edom. Chapter 2, the descendants of Israel. We have plenty more names to go. So fun. The descendants of Israel were Reuben, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, Zebulun, Dan, Joseph, Benjamin, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. Judah had 3 sons from Bathshua, a Canaanite woman. Their names were Onan, and Shelah. But the Lord saw that the oldest son was a wicked man, so he killed him. Later, Judah had twin sons from Tamar. If you haven't read about that story, I do highly suggest you look that up. His widowed daughter-in-law. Their names were Perez and Zerah. So Judah had 5 sons in all. And that's in Genesis chapter 38, in case you're wondering. The sons of Perez were Hezron and Hamul. The sons of Zerah were Zimri, Ethan, Heman, Calcol, and Darda, 5 in all. The sons of Carmi, a descendant of Zimri, was Achan, who brought disaster on Israel by taking plunder that had been set apart for the Lord. And that's in Joshua chapter 7. The son of Ethan was Azariah. The sons of Hezron were Jerahmeel, Ram, and Caleb. Ram was the father of Amminadab. Amminadab was the father of Nahshon, a leader of Judah. Nahshon was the father of Solomon. Solomon was the father of Boaz. Boaz the father of Obed, and Obed was the father of Jesse. That's in multiple stories. Ruth is one of the really good ones. Jesse's first son was Eliab. His second was Abinadab. His third was Shimeah. His fourth was Nathaniel. His fifth was Radai. His sixth was Ozem. And his seventh was David. Their sisters were named Zuriah and Abigail. Zuriah had 3 sons named Abishai, Joab, and Asahel. Abigail married a man named Jether, an Ishmaelite, and they had a son named Amasa. Hezron's son Caleb had sons from his wife Azubah and from Jeroth. Her sons were named Jesher, Shobab, and Ardon. After Azubah died, Caleb married Ephrathah, and they had a son named Hur. Hur was father of Uri. Uri was the father of Bezalel. When Hezron was 60 years old, he married Gilead's sister, the daughter of Machir. They had a son named Segub. Segub was the father of Jair, who ruled 23 towns in the land of Gilead. But Geshur and Aram captured the towns of Jair and also took Kenath and its 60 surrounding villages. All these were descendants of Machir, the father of Gilead. I'm very interested where it says Ephrathah. Caleb married Ephrathah. I want to look that up later. Soon after Hezron died in the town of Caleb, Ephrathah, his wife Abijah gave birth to a son named Ashur, the father of Tekoa. Descendants of Hezron's son, Jeremiel. The sons of Jeremiel, the oldest son of Hezron, were Ram, the firstborn, Bunah, Oren, Ozem, and Ahijah. Jeremiel had a second wife named Atara. She was the mother of Onam. The sons of Ram, the oldest, were Jeremiel, were Maz, Jamin, and Eker. The sons of Onam were Shammai and Jada. The sons of Shammai were Nadab and Abishur. The sons of Abishur and his wife Abihail were Aban and Molid. The sons of Nadab were Seled and Apaham. Seled died without children, but Apaham had a son named Ishi. The son of Ishi was Shishan. Shishan had a descendant named Ahlai, Ahlai. The sons of Jada, Shemai's brother, were Jether and Jonathan. Jether died without children, but Jonathan had two sons named Peleth and Zaza. These were all descendants of Jerahmeel. Shishan had no sons, though he did have daughters. He also had an Egyptian servant named Jarha. Shishan gave one of his daughters to be the wife of Jarha, and they had a son named Attai. Attai was the father of Nathan. Nathan was the father of Zabad. Zabad was the father of Ephah. Ephah was the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jehu. Jehu was the father of Azariah. Azariah was the father of Helez. Helez was the father of Elishah. Elishah was the father of Sismai. Sismai. Sismai was the father of Shalom. Shalom was the father of Jechamiah. Jechamiah was the father of Elishama. The descendants of Caleb, the brother of Jerahmeel, included Meshech, the firstborn, who became the father of Ziph. Caleb's descendants also included the sons of Mareshah, the father of Hebron. The sons of Hebron were Korah, Tapua, Rekam, and Shema. Shema was the father of Raham. Raham was the father of Jorkiam. Rekam was the father of Shammai. The son of Shammai was Maon. Maon was the father of Beth Zur. Caleb's concubine, Ephah, gave birth to Haran, Moza, and Gazez. Haran was the father of Gazez, Gazez. The sons of Jehadai were Regem, Jotham, Jeshan, Pelet, Ephan, and Shaph. Shaaph. Shaph. I'm not sure. Another Caleb's concubines, Maacah, gave birth to Sheber and Tirhana. She also gave birth to Shaph, the father of Madmanah, and Sheba, the father of Machbenah and Gibeah. Caleb also had a daughter named Aksa. These were all descendants of Caleb. We've read a little bit about Aksa before. The sons of Hur, the oldest son of Caleb's wife, Ephrathah, were Shobal, the founder of Kiriath Jearim, Salma, the founder of Bethlehem, and Hareph, the founder of Beth Gader. The descendants of Shobal, the founder of Kiriath Jearim, were Haroeh, Haroeh, half the Manathites, and the families of Kiriath Jearim, the Ithrites, Puthites, Shumathites, and Misharites, from whom came the people of Zor and Eshtaol. The descendants of Salma were the people of Bethlehem, the Netophathites, Aroth Beth Joab, the other half of Manahathites and Zorites, and the families of scribes living in Jabez, the Tirathites, Shemeathites, and Sukkothites. All these were Kenites who descended from Hamath, the father of the family of Rechab. So we still have many more. Chapter 3 is going to be the descendants of David. Chapter 4 is going to be the descendants of Judah. And I know it goes on. the descendants of Reuben. So we have a lot more names, but these are very important things to be covering. And I will also try to add kind of connections in my subtitles or in the description of the video about who some of these people are, where we read about them. And if I do not add any of that today, I will add it soon, hopefully this week. And my mother is coming to visit me for the holidays, and I did tell her I want her to be reading the Bible with me, so maybe she'll join me in through reading some of Chronicles, which would be very fun. I'm sure she'll love it. So I hope you join me, and I hope you try to say some of these names out loud and see how you do, and see if you can remember where they appear in other parts of the Bible, because the Bible is wholly connected and it's beautiful from beginning to end. It's completely beneficial to us to read about God and his word to us that he has spoken to us. It doesn't get much clearer than this. So if you want to learn how to hear from God, maybe start with the word that's printed on paper and easy to find. You can even look it up on your phone. But if you don't want to do that, just follow along with me.